the verse. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Nate. I'm back and I'm starting kind of like a new thing here. I'll spend a little bit extra time, but I'll try and make it brief. As you can see, IslandGoMTG. That's what it is, and I thought it would only be right for the first episode with the name and with kind of the new packaging that I got, that we're playing islands, man. We got to play islands. We're doing historic blue tempo, mono blue, as you can see, and this deck is very well positioned in the meta, but mono red can be a problem. We kind of want to dodge that, and mono red obviously is a big part of the meta as well, but it's not like it's an unmanageable matchup, even with the goblins, even if burn. It's not unmanageable, but it can be rough. It's just about staying in position. I'm going to talk a little bit about the philosophy of tempo, which is kind of like a counter puncher in boxing. We're not hitting hard unless it's just to finish off with the Jin, typically, or if we adapt the Pteramander right here. That's the only time we're hard hitting, but most of the time we're just getting in there with the jabs, man. We're just jabbing them, we're pecking them, we're keeping them where we want them, and if we're ready in case they throw something, we're gonna bob and weave. So we're just trying to disrupt all their steps. We don't want it to get in too long of a game and too grindy. But we do want to just kind of set the tone for the game, and a lot of times we can get a rage quit scoop just off of aggravation of not being able to play Magic against us. So the engine of the deck is first turn we're gonna land a 1-drop, and then from there we're gonna try and get a Curious Obsession on it, be able to have something to back up and protect it, and then we just bat away everything. We're only playing islands because it makes the Jin better. This Lofty Denial can be really good. I like this build because we're geared very low to the ground. Brazen Borrower is an all-star. Sea Dasher just kind of supplements our Curious Obsession and gives us a little bit more flexibility for an attacker. But let's get in. Let's start jamming some games. I had a lot of success with this deck earlier. I really like where the build is. I've tested out a lot of different combinations, and I think this is really good. And like I said, you can really get in there right now with where the meta and historic is, and I like seeing it on Top 8, MTGtop8.com. I was surprised that historic was finally added, but I guess with the new event here recently, it worked out pretty well. So let's get in here. This is exactly what we want to see. We got a 1-drop, we got our Curious, and we got stuff to back up and protect. And the Jin isn't always great in the opener, but it's not terrible either. If you come across this deck, you want to kill their turn 1 creature. It sets them completely off axis. I really hope this is mono green, because if so, I don't have the counter spells to do it, but a lot of times we can. Okay, see, there we go. Perfect example, right? They see the deck, they know what it's gonna be, and they're like, no, I'm not doing it. And he probably knew that we were gonna disrupt, but we didn't even have the hand like we wanted. So man, that's a great example, game 1. Let's go ahead and jam another. Well, this is a good roll for the first episode of Island Go. I like it. Playing rice and beans. Okay. And we're doing what we want to do. We don't have the disruption, but with the Storm Tamer and the Curious, it's really hard for me to put this thing back, because off the Curious, we're just going to keep drawing into our disruption. But see, there we go. There's that mountain that's fearful. Because of that mountain, I'm actually not going to play my turn 1 creature. I'm going to hold up this Spell Pierce and see if there's something that I can mess with. Hindsight, probably should have kept it, but who knows what would have happened. We can go ahead and put out the Storm Tamer now. The Spell Pierce is probably dead. Right here. So this is definitely an example of how mono red can just get out on us. Like I said, we gotta stay in position with that thing. Now, we do have a live Lofty Denial, and we're only at 16, so it's not awful. They're down to 3 cards, and we got a grip full. So, we started our plan a little late. We really want to be cracking in as soon as possible. After you crack in also, you really just want to hold up mana for the biggest part. Sometimes if you got a 1-drop, you can put it down. But we're seeing if we could salvage this. He's cycling the Goblin. Oh! Goblin's on the battlefield. Huh, and he got around our counter magic. Dive down would be where we want to be here. Nice play, dude. I mean, I guess rice and beans doesn't have to be a dude, but I figure. So what's really sick is when we can put the borrower on. We can have the borrower cracking in with the Curious Obsession. Is that going to be fast enough to catch up right now? I'm not totally sure. Okay, so we're going to Lofty this Chain Whirler. Oh, this guy has haste. Oh. Oh, that sucks. That was definitely a misplay too. I guess we're gonna toss him back. I mean, that mitigated a lot of damage. This Merfolk Trickster looks pretty good, but I think right now we really just have to, yeah, drop the gen and just kind of protect our life total at this point and see if we can claw back in it. I don't think it's very likely. The Goblin deck will just steamroll right back. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it on this one. They got out to that good start, and if that's disrupted on us, though, I mean, we are a tempo deck, and that means that the tempo is as important for us to establish in our favor against them, but also to keep it from going against us. So it definitely works both ways, and if you're on the draw and they can get out in front of you, then it's really tough to climb back in. This deck is all about being in position, which is really kind of a blue philosophy in general anyway. You need to be in position. I played this dude Wizard Inc. earlier today. I would not be forgetting that name. This is not a good opener. Let's pitch this. Not a fan of that either. But we have action. We do have action. The octopus is probably a little overkill here, so we're going to throw it back. We're going to drop this island and say go. And we're going to opt at the end of the turn to see if we can draw land. Luckily, they're not pressuring us, so that's awesome. That's not an island, so we don't want it. That's not an island either, and that's not an island either. And that really sucks. So we're going to have to opt right now. There is our land. And we are not in position, but we're kind of doing on turn 2 what we wanted to do on turn 1, and they didn't pressure us, so that's really good. Okay, so we're gonna really hope on getting this land here. Let's get in. We're doing what we want to do. It just feels a little bit more awkward than it should. Yeah, that sucks. At least if that were an opt, that would be way better. And this music is pumping in my headphones. Okay, so they're dropping the pelt collector. We can't do anything to stop it. They're gonna pump the pelt collector. It's too bad we can't dive down the pelt collector. That would be so sick. Oof. That's tough. That's a really good play. And we can't protect the Curious either. And now they're bashing in. Man, I hate getting punished like this by mono green. It doesn't have reach, does it? It does have reach. Okay. Okay, so they're dropping the troll. We're gonna do things with the troll. I'm gonna wait till the attack step. Oh, this feels good. This is why I like the Brazen Borrower. And this is like why I like playing against mutate creatures. I just 3-for-1 them, and I have a potential attacker if I get a land drop on the next turn. Granted, they're way ahead right now. They're way, way ahead. We're still counting on hitting this third land. That is not our third land. So we're just going to repeat the process here is probably what they're going to do, and we can't stop it. We should probably drop that thing on the troll. Yeah, there it is. Can't stop it. So being only at 18 land is getting us here. Good game, homie. Oh man, I hate getting beat by mono green. If you play mono green, if you like mono green, no disrespect, but that's exactly what this style of deck is built to take advantage of, is just dropping dudes and being able to stay out in front of it and disrupt it. Had we been able to hit that third land early, or started our plan on turn 1, then we might have been able to draw into our lands a little bit better. Either way it goes, though, that was definitely a tough beat. But that's not a matchup that's impossible to navigate by any means. So yeah, here we're just gonna drop the Mander. Say go. So currently, with rotation coming up in standard here in a couple days, I have 0 standard decks. Do I want to do this? I don't think that I want to use my Borrower on that. And the Grazer is just going to block him, so I'm just going to pass. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna Spell Pierce this. Honestly, we probably could have done something different, but it still worked out magnificently in our favor. Yeah, they're gonna block it, but we got the Curious going, it's on there. They don't have anything that scares me that might be of any removal. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. We're going to put it over so we got a bigger attacker. Now, this is nice. The op there is good, and we should be able to kill this Grazer. So we don't get to draw like we want to. But we do have counter magic, we have bounce, and we got some draw. So we're going to counter this for sure. And now we're rolling. That land, though it doesn't seem wonderful, is probably really good because now we're going to draw 2 cards that hopefully both aren't land, and they're both not. We can play any of these type things right now. Let's go ahead and opt. we can get that out of the way. So even though that might be a little premature, it's okay. It's okay. Let them do this sorcery. And then if they play a permanent, we can just put it back in their hand. Oh. At this point, since we're going, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and borrow her. We can crash in for 6, draw 2 cards. Like I said, I'm not scared of disruption here. And getting another borrower back is insane. Now we got an octopus, and we got some card selection. And let's go. We can also adapt our guy. I keep wanting to say mutate. We're gonna let that go because we're gonna trickster. Put it down. And why don't we just go for the throat here, I think. We're gonna go ahead and pump him up. Put this thing away. So that's how it can do. I mean, they didn't get to do anything from their game plan, even though they were disrupting what we were trying to do. They weren't able to establish anything, and that's what I was kind of saying about the mono green decks, is they're just using permanents for the big part, and it's easy for us to just knock that out. I mean, we could just Floyd Mayweather those haymakers, and everything is fine. So let's just keep on going. That's another thing too, is if you like playing more of a reactive control-y style and you don't want to take forever ranking up playing just basic control, or typical traditional control I should say, then this is a great option if you're interested in ranking up like that, because you're gonna catch a lot of really good matchups. I've seen some builds that are running more of the gens, that are running a set of the octopus, things like that, and I don't think that's bad by any stretch of the imagination. But I do think, we're just going to pass, but I do think that if you can trim down some cards and just be a little lower to the ground in your mana curve and not lose anything in the process, then yeah, that's definitely where you want to be, especially in any Eternal format. If anybody that's watching is familiar with Modern, they know how explosive that can be. We definitely want to keep this Curious Obsession. And there's another land that's sweet. We don't have any disruption, but I really just don't want to get my Storm Tamer killed. I guess we do have the dive down also. Okay, so now... see, this is kind of... Well, yeah, we can, because he is a wizard, so now we turn on the retort, and we're in business here. They haven't pressured us at all, so essentially this is a pseudo turn 1. I have no issues taking this 1 damage. If they want to try a spell to add on to it, then I can disrupt it. Especially in these situations, we want to see them tap out. That's why right here... And I think I messed up. Good God! And this is why you want to be low to the ground. Bravo! Bravo! I gotta give it up for that one. And I gotta run it back fast, too. Let's go ahead and wipe that from the memory. I don't like to make the videos too long. Play a ton of games, just enough to kind of get the feel of the deck. So we'll just do one more. Hopefully And we're not starting off fast. This is a good disruptor early if they're tapping out. It's an island which is not terrible for the occasion. And it looks like they're not playing terribly fast either, but that thought eraser hurts. Let's see what they take. It's usually interesting to see what they take with hand disruption spells like that. I'm guessing they're going to take the counter spell. They keep toggling over it, and a lot of people just hate getting their stuff countered. I think the correct play there is to take the Borrower, because I get 2 uses out of that card, so they can technically 2-for-1 me. Like if you play Thoughtseize in Modern and you see Snapcaster or something like that, you want to take the Snapcaster. I'm not going to flash anything out here with the Trickster to let it get killed, because they're playing a lot of colors that can kill my stuff. Some people like to just drop, especially if you have 2. I used to be in the mindset, if I had 2 of these copies, I would throw one of them out just to get hit. Ooh. But I don't think that's ever the right play. I don't think you ever want to sacrifice it. I should have flashed in my Borrower. I still can't believe they didn't take it. There's no way they don't have... Alright, I'll do a Trickster now so I can try and sneak out the Borrower if they have the removal. Which it doesn't look like they do. They do seem to be worried about our heavier hitters, so maybe they just don't care about taking this. They're toggling over that Trickster, so I think they're ready to bust him up. Also, I got the beats on him. I'm ahead in this game. I'm not forcing anything else. There's no reason for me to tap and allow them to kind of get the momentum swung back in their favor. So I'm just going to keep bashing in with this Trickster until they take it out, and then I'm going to put out another one. Because I still want to be able to save the Borrower in the hand. Wow. As well as the Djinn. They're not really playing permanents, and they're just coming at my hand. I gotta think a Nicol Bolas is coming soon enough as well. So I'm just gonna throw out this Borrower and flash him in. And hopefully it puts enough pressure to where they have to still keep being reactive to us. Man, some disruption would have been nice, especially since they're hitting our hand so hard. But this is a good example of how this archetype plays against this other archetype as well that's going to do things like this. And in Historic, there's going to be a lot of discard decks that you're going to come across. Oof. Oof. That's a nice play for them, so I'm going to go ahead and sneak in this other Trickster while I can. They're going to hit our Djinn, obviously. They're going to go to 8. Okay, now, if I'm incorrect, and it seems that I am, I thought for sure, but no, we haven't been playing those spells. We got 5, 6 mana. There's no reason for me to tap and allow them to kind of get the momentum swung back in their favor. You know, I was thinking that a ritual would be awful. And that is an awful draw. That is definitely an awful draw. Thief! Man, that card is so underrated. Okay, so let's do this. Let's put out our Pteramander. We got 6 mana. I guess if we're just getting flooded, we kind of got to hope for another one so we can adapt the Pteramander and get in for 5. They're not really playing permanents, and they're just coming at my hand. I gotta think a Nicol Bolas is coming soon enough. That doesn't hurt. I knew that Ravager was coming. I knew it was going to be a Ravager since they're playing so many discard spells. I knew it was going to be a Ravager. Mid-rangey approach can sometimes be way better. Ah, this Trickster is going to be pretty decent against the Thief here in a second. That's a decent draw. We're going to keep them from doing their thing on us. Let's see if they're going to hit us with something. Oof. Yeah, I think they I don't know. We got them really low. There's a chance that we could sneak in, but they're playing us really well and really starting to turn the corner. A mid-rangey deck that has blue in it can fight this pretty well. If you are playing a tempo deck like I'm playing today, and you come across a control deck, you will eat them alive. You're just outvaluing them on every turn. That's an awful draw. This Thief could get really out of control on us real fast. Typically, especially if I'm trying to be quick about it, I might scoop. This doesn't... Yeah, if they're hitting Curious Obsession, that's... I guess I can't say much, but that just seems avant-garde, we'll say, if I'm gonna put it diplomatically. They're killing us, man. I can't believe they didn't take the Borrower. They just don't see any value in that card, apparently. Alright, so we're just gonna get out of here. Man, I'm so tempted to play one more game. And I'm so tempted to play one more game. Ugh. Alright, now I have to. Now I have to. Just out of the principle here. I can't think of any cards in the new set that would automatically slot into this. There are some counter spells that are similar, but I think the ones that we have in this deck already are probably more powerful. This is kind of where we want to be. They're playing black. We kind of have to just hit this. So, at this point I just kind of cringe. Okay, nice. So it's on. It is definitely on. We're doing exactly what we want to do. They may be doing what they want to do too, to start out with, but we can do a lot of things. We need to get into another land. And there she is. Okay. So let's get in. Let's draw our card. Now we're doing what we're supposed to do. This Trickster can disrupt an Iara trigger. I always want to call her Aria. Oh, we're tapping out though. So tapping out usually means counterspell is a good way to go. I'm looking and we don't have op, we just used it. So from here, we're just gonna let them do their thing, and we really don't care. I think we're gonna cruise in this one too. They're down to 3 cards already. We still have 6 in hand, and we're doing what we want to do. Okay. So what's really awesome is we're gonna get mad value out of this Borrower. Right here. Now we're gonna crash in. Hopefully we get a land here as well. No, but another Curious Obsession is not awful. Yeah, and we're gonna do this so we can dive down if they try and target us. Twilight Prophet. Ain't scared. So let's put another Curious on this guy. That probably, I'm playing a little fast, and I should probably not be as decisive, because though my plays right now aren't bad, I'm not really considering a whole lot, and I'm just kind of rushing. We got lucky though, because I still have protection for the dive down mana, which boom comes in seriously handy. And this is, man, like, what we do is so disruptive and easy. Like, they just spent 4 mana to do that, and we just tapped an island. Huh? No. That's the power of the blue, man. It's the power of the blue. So I think I'm going to put out another Pteramander. Okay, so I don't know, let's just pitch another Pteramander. We don't need a third right now anyway. This Siren Storm Tamer does us good, but whatever they're doing right now, most likely we can disrupt it. Any creature that they play, we can Trickster. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, so let's Trickster it. We're not quite at range to be able to adapt yet. If we draw a land and get to play it, I think we'll be right at adapt mana. But then we're tapping down. I don't really want to do that. If I do, I would consider even putting it on this Pteramander. Yeah, they can't attack at this point, even though we're down to 10. I mean, they're doing a really good job. They're pinging us. I think that this deck could potentially have some game against some of those Rakdos Sacrifice decks. So yeah, we only have 1 up. See, this is where I have to math, and I don't like to math. But this is what we do, so we don't have to math. See, I'm rushing through it. But on the next turn, we do have lethal presented. We have counter action, and basically we have a win. Hopefully they spend a bunch of mana on something. I see they got a 4-drop. Yeah, drop that Prophet. Drop that Prophet. He's a flyer, they almost have to. I don't care about that. Now they're gonna drop the Prophet though. We're just waiting on it. Oh! Okay. No swings, main phase 2. You're not going to do it on main phase 2. Well, they must have some removal. These extra lands are really nice. We got a Spell Pierce and a Dive Down. Let's just Spell Pierce it. Okay. I think we're going to have to use our Dive Down also. Oh, they paid the mana. Okay, well, we just dive down. Yep. Boom, baby. That's the way we want to go out. They grinded us a little bit. They made it tough. We rank up. We finish on a win. That's what blue do. So, hey, this is the first episode of IslandGoMTG. I'm Nate. I cover many different archetypes, but blue is my jam, obviously. These are my historic decks. Some of them I've just kind of tossed together. Some of them may be a little janky, like this one's kind of janky. Some of them, this is probably janky, but it can be good. But hey, man, this is what I'm doing. This is Nate, IslandGoMTG. Thanks for checking it out. Peace. Got some broken bones, but I need a healed mind from the agony and pain from an ill life. The Lord tests my willpower, so my will fights addiction to